Hello, everybody. Oh, I beat you to it. Welcome.
Thank God we're back in this place. My God.
Our home away from home.
My basement is not the right place to do any of this stuff from. And I was like looking at it. I'm like, oh, I wouldn't even let people come visit my house, go in the basement of our.
Well, then consider yourselves lucky, check-in
right.
viewers.
You were welcomed into my basement. You're so welcome.
How's your voice doing?
Oh, amazing. I sound fat. My wife said to me today, I sound like Batman half the time. So
was that pretty thrilling for you, though?
Oh, I just wanted to go and get a costume right go start solving crime, beat up some people, beat up some criminals, not people. Let me be clear about that.
Welcome, everybody, to this
off the rails already.
This Remembrance Day edition of Check-In. I'm Sara Lesky. He is Jamie Thomas. It's great to see so many of you in the chat already joining us as we get you set. Hello, Leslie, Reed. We've got Mary Jane, Doug, and I'm trying to go through them as quickly as I can.
You're doing a great job.
Well, thanks.
Keep going.
Anyways, we say hello to all of you. Like I said, great to see you. We always love when you join us in the chat. And we have a busy 30 minutes here as we get you set for today's show. Mitchell Clinton is going to join us from Vancouver in advance of the Jets morning skate.
Yeah, we've got another special guest in Kati Tabin, who is part of the Montreal Victoire.
Because
why?
You may have heard the PWHL is coming to town. It was announced yesterday. They will be in town as part of their tour on March 22nd. It will be Montreal and Ottawa. Tickets are on sale to the general public on Friday, pre-sale on Thursday. So we know that these tickets sell out very, very quickly. So you don't want to miss an opportunity. All the videos that we have seen from the different stops along the tour, the atmosphere has been great. So good to see that the PWHL is going to come to town.
It's a great idea, really, to do these tours to get this all going on, because it's a fantastic league. It's had a lot of success so far, too. So we're thrilled to have Kati coming on to talk about her team and obviously her success in the PWHL.
Absolutely. But let's turn our attention back to this road trip right now. Game 4 of this 6-game road trip goes tonight. Will Canada bring some success to the Jets? We hope so. 0-3 on this road trip so far. They are playing in Vancouver this evening. The frustrating part for me while watching these games, beyond the time, because we've already discussed that, is certainly it's not that they've come up short in all 3 games. To be honest, it's how they've played.
Yeah.
Particularly when you look at the last 2 games.
Yeah, well, you think Arnie's consistent message has been about they've had good first periods and then it just seems to get away from them. And you really saw, like, California is not easy to go through anymore.
Yeah.
It has been in years past. Now it's almost like a death trap to go, considering that San Jose and Anaheim are on their way up. And man, you're facing the highest scoring team in the NHL. And they don't give up a lot either. Like, I thought Anaheim controlled that game from the second period on, and it just showed. And the Jets just had no room. Anaheim was so fast throughout that game. And Scott Arniel made a good point. Every team is quick.
Yeah.
In the National Hockey League right now. But man, the speed that Anaheim and San Jose showed in these 2 games on the Jets road trip is like they are somewhere on the way up at this point. It might fall off a little bit for them later because not enough experience on their rosters. But those 2 teams are something to deal with. But going back to your point about how the Jets played, is just mistake over mistake and just pucks turnover. I think there's 23 turnovers by the Jets in Anaheim the other night. So that's stuff that just can't happen against anybody, never mind Anaheim.
Yeah, we always say that good defense leads to offense. Well, I mean, the structure hasn't been there. And you know that they will find it. They will get back to what is at what their DNA is made of, the structure in their game.
Yeah.
But certainly they are struggling with it right now. They have been outscored 9-2 in the 3 losses for it. Rush chances, they've gotten killed off of them, 17-4.
And that's the one that's Scott Arniel's, like, that's the one that just burns his bonnet. Like, gets under his skin so much.
Absolutely. So you look at the Jets, they are 9-6 at the moment, and it was still early on in the season, but you see the way that things have changed. They're currently in the first wild card spot now. They were just 1 point behind Colorado when this road trip started. So it is important, although early, it is important, obviously, to get back into that win column to stop things at this 3-game slide, because you don't want too much distance to go through, because there is that Central Division is very close when you look at a lot of the teams fighting for
it's not
some
much
of the spot.
Katie's water bottle. What's in the Tim Hortons? Not enough. I wish there was something to get rid of this voice. You're right. I have not had a good time the last 3 days, so I appreciate your concern. We had a pretty good stat about Winnipeg, obviously through the first 12 games of the year, 9-3, just their ability to score and high danger scoring chances.
Yeah.
It was like 8.4% and high danger scoring percentage, 23.8%. Their last 3 games, go ahead.
They've still had the high danger shots.
Yeah, sorry, it's 8.4 shots, high danger shots per game is 8.3.
8.3 over the last 3 games. So they still have had opportunities, but their high danger shooting percentage,
Go for it.
0.
There's 0 for 25 in the last 3 games on high danger scoring chances. So
and they're averaging 0.67.
Right. And their
goals
shooting
per game.
percentage was 13.8% during the first 12 games. What is it, the last 3?
2.5%. And you look, and it's across the board when you look at, I mean, looking up front on their 4 lines that they have not been able, they were early on, we know that they were led by that top line.
Yeah.
The top line has gone dry. We haven't been able to see the production from them and just trickle down. You haven't had the secondary scoring them as well. And it's impacted everything at the moment.
Yeah. And that's the concern with the depth, right? With what the Jets have always been able to do, especially on the road when they don't have last change, is when the top line isn't going, they've been able, secondary scoring has been able to take over and get them out of things right now. So you brought Adam Lowry back. This is game 4 for him tonight, sorry. And then you just brought back Cole Perfetti the last game. So this could change, but it's going to take some time for both those players to get their game legs underneath them.
Yeah, absolutely. I like Audrey Scott. Good afternoon. Love the Jets. Jets are going to win tonight. You know that they are going to get back in the win column. We are certainly hoping that it's going to happen tonight. We need positive vibes for our boys. Debbie saying California not kind to the Jets. Last game was really hard to watch, and we don't disagree with you. It was. So and
not as bad as the LA game though. That was hard to watch
for different reasons.
Yes.
For different reasons.
Yeah.
But I think that it shows you the bar has been set very high by this Winnipeg Jets team over the last couple of years. You know what they're capable of, and I think that's what makes it much more frustrating. It would be one of the things. It'd be frustrating to watch if they just weren't a good team.
Yes.
And you thought, okay, this is just hard to watch, but you know how strong this team is. So it's just about getting through this.
Well, they're not Anaheim's. They're not up and coming. They are
a
legit Stanley Cup contender. So that's why I can sense where people are frustrated in some aspects. But yes, Gift Guy, Barron and Sandberg are certainly missed. Nyquist too. And you also need a little more speed.
Yep.
Certainly contend with Anaheim and San Jose because very challenging in that aspect.
Yeah, an area that has been strong though. Let's give props to the goaltenders. Connor Hellebuyck continuing to lead the way. Eric Comrie, I mean, obviously didn't get the win in Anaheim, but it was not because of the play of Eric Comrie. Both netminders have played so well.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And like I don't say we take Connor Hellebuyck for granted, but now he's not getting run support. And Eric Comrie had been getting run support beforehand too. Did not get that on the other night against Anaheim too. So, but I mean, it's almost automatic. You're comfortable with either one of those goaltenders in net, and that's a good thing to have. Now you just need the offense to start to get going. And then, like power play and penalty kill dropped off, and that power play carried the Jets through so much of last season. And now that it's dropped off, that's made things more challenging for them because they're not scoring 5-on-5, and they were able to lean on their power play a lot.
Yeah, and so they go up tonight against a Canucks team that's still trying to find their way as well. They are 8-1 on the season. They are 3-4-1 at home. They have had a couple of points in their most recent games with some of their key players looking to maybe find their game a little bit, or that they have started to find their game, including Quinn Hughes. He had a big impact for the Jets or for the Canucks in their last game, especially at 5-on-5. They have a new coach this year, Adam Foote. So lots to keep an eye on with this Canucks team as well. And we are reports that Thatcher Demko is on the ice for the Canucks and going through starting routine. So it looks like Demko could be back for them tonight.
Right. Somebody who's also back on the show is Mitchell Clinton.
We love when Mitch joins us.
He doesn't have any strange lights going on in the background.
Give it time.
Today. Wait a second. There he is. Hello, Mitchell.
Hello.
21. Is it?
I'm sitting at the back of like a section because I wanted to be far enough away from the ice that hopefully the puck sounds aren't as wild. And then I also it's just nice to be able to, put your feet up a little bit and get yourself comfortable. So options are kind of limited. You would think in like a big bowl, there would be a plethora of places to be able to do these kinds of things. But everywhere just always seems really echoey and all that kind of stuff. So I'm doing my best.
Hey, and doing a great job.
Okay, so it was 0 for 3 in California, something that hasn't happened. Well, actually, never happens to this team since relocation. But can you speak to the Jets' struggles through those 3 different games, Mitch? What was something that stood out to you that really hurt them in California?
Yeah, if there was a central theme for me, and I think this is what kind of makes it difficult to really pinpoint a lot of things, it was execution. But it's not necessarily execution in the same way all the time, which is what I think led to things looking so different as you go through a number of the games, right? So it felt like in San Jose, and I know Paul Edmonds kind of mentioned this on our broadcast ahead of the Anaheim game, routines were definitely thrown off a little bit just because of the travel snafus that happened the day before. You're scheduled to get into San Jose at about 3:00 in the afternoon after a practice. Instead, you don't get there till after midnight. So it's a fact. It's definitely not being used as an excuse by anybody. It's just a fact, a little glimpse behind the curtain. So I just think Winnipeg just wasn't maybe as tight as they would normally be in terms of detail and being able to execute on plays that they would want. And then sometimes, like against Anaheim, it's just a matter of executing reads and plays that they normally, don't even have to really think about. Some of it, I do think, is some of the new faces. You're also getting guys back in the lineup like Adam Lowry, who hasn't had a training camp, so he's trying to get himself up to speed when the season's already over a month in. And then you get Cole Perfetti back in Anaheim, and I thought that line looked pretty good at times. But again, he hasn't played in a number of weeks, so there's going to be that adjustment for him as well, getting back up to regular season speed. So I just think, throughout the lineup, it's just a little bit of execution, whether it's a read on a play or a system or a structure thing, or it's literally just like we saw a couple times for poor Kyle Connor against Anaheim. Puck comes over to him and it bangs off his stick, and that one-timer that we're used to seeing instead turns into dusting it off and making another pass because you've lost the ability to get that shot off at the time you want.
What's the mood like around the team right now? I think that, fans wear the losses often so hard, and at times harder than the players, in terms of, not that the players don't care, not that the coaching staff doesn't care, but I think that sometimes the perspective of going, okay, this is, one game we've lost, a couple games haven't played well, there's no need to panic. But when you look overall, just what's the demeanor like around the room?
Yeah, and obviously, you guys have been around the game a long time, and anybody that watches, all the great interviews that are on the Winnipeg Jets website, which is where you should always go to be able to get interviews day to day.
Yeah.
You always hear the players talk about, can't get too high, can't get too low. And the reason for that is just the schedule doesn't allow you to, right? Like if you're Winnipeg, you've lost 3 in a row, but now you got to focus on a Vancouver team that took Colorado to overtime the other night. So, they're going to be a desperate club. So, yeah, I think, around the group that I always find right after games is probably when they're wearing it the most. It's still very raw. The next day, though, and, it was something that was considered a strength for this team last year, was their ability to just park it, right, and move on. And I've asked a couple of players about that over the last few days, just about, is this when you lean into the veteran side of the group to know that, okay, this sucks, we hate losing. It's something that even happened to them a few times last year, and they won the President's Trophy, right? They had a 4-game losing streak. They had a couple of 3-gamers as well. So you definitely don't want to have it happen, but you are able to lean on your experiences. And Luke Shen on the post-game show after the Anaheim game on CJOB, I thought was really, really good. Just kind of saying that we've got a lot of players in this lineup that have played some really meaningful hockey in their careers.
Yes.
So they're quite confident in their ability to be able to bounce back. Sometimes things aren't going your way. That's kind of the way it goes over an 82-game season. But I'm curious to see, who, not that it's a one-person thing, but who's going to be the person or who's going to be the line that's going to kind of grab onto things right now and try to, force that momentum to come back into Winnipeg's way. That's kind of what I'm going to be looking for tonight.
I know it's a small sample size, Mitch, but Cole Perfetti, look, whenever he was on the ice with Jonathan Toews, looked like they have a good chemistry set up already. Had a great scoring chance in the first period. What is the high part of what could happen with Cole Perfetti and Jonathan Toews, considering their hockey IQ with Vladislav Domestikov?
There's so much hockey IQ on that line, but I think what's kind of not really been talked about as much is that Cole Perfetti is as creative and as smart as he is on the ice. He can also shoot the puck.
Right.
And I think that's something that line, will really value in Cole Perfetti's game. He's not afraid to let that thing go and use that wrist shot, because you can have as smart players on the ice as you want. Ultimately, you got to be able to get that puck on net, get those second chance opportunities or whatever it may be, right? So what I've really liked about Cole Perfetti when he's been in the lineup, and even, for the just under 18 minutes, I believe is what he played against Anaheim, he wasn't afraid to get that puck on net. Had the glorious chance rate in front that I think he, about 9 million times out of 9,000,001, he puts it in the back of the net. That just happened to be the one that didn't. But I think an understated part of Cole Perfetti's game is his ability to shoot the puck. So I'm sure they'll be looking to try to get a few more pucks to the net. But I'm really encouraged by what I saw with that line. Of course, there's chemistry between Domestikov and Cole Perfetti. They've played together for a while now. But I think the reps in preseason between Perfetti and Jonathan Toews were very important, so that Perfetti was able to get back in the lineup and just kind of jump right back into knowing kind of how Toews see things and how they want to operate.
The first time that the Jets will have seen the Canucks this season, Mitch. So first of 3 meetings between these clubs. What is it that you think that they need to be aware of with this Canucks team in order to be able to get back into the win column?
I think for the most part, it was kind of evident in the game against Colorado. Vancouver's not going to go away, right? Mm-hmm. Like, Colorado had a 2-goal lead and a couple of 1-goal leads over the course of that game, including those 1-goal leads in the third period, and Vancouver just kept finding a way. So special teams, they're quite good. They had a shorthanded goal against Colorado as well. So, and of course, anytime Elias Pettersson's on the ice, Brock Besser, those are players that have kind of been able to find the back of the net against the Winnipeg Jets in their careers. That's something to watch. But and it looks like this will be the case, if Vancouver is able to get Thatcher Demko back between the pipes, that's obviously going to be a big boost for this lineup that's trying to end a 4-game homestand on the right note. So the one vulnerability, I guess you could say, with Vancouver is the injuries that they've had at center. Mm-hmm. They're not quite as deep as they normally are. There's a couple of guys in Jonathan Lecker-Mackey and Victor Mancini, I believe, that are on the ice right now in regular jerseys. So we'll see kind of what the update is there. But Vancouver losing someone like Pius Suter to free agency, not re-signing with them. And then you have the injuries on top of that to Teddy Bluger and Philip Hedl. They're a little bit thinner at center than what I think they would like to be. So we'll see if Winnipeg can use their center depth, which is a huge strength, to be able to get things into the Vancouver end.
Buddy, appreciate the time. You have no idea how close you were to co-hosting this show today. So from Vancouver, with this incredible voice that I have. Have a great call tonight, and thanks for doing this.
We've all been there, JT. Tea and honey. Tea and honey.
See you, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much, Mitch. Always love when Mitch is able to join us for the insight of always being around the team on the road. And
yes.
Then, some of the insight, too, just of matchups. And let's see, should tell the guys if they don't win tonight, they have to listen to Jamie. Wow. Oh, it's okay, buddy. The rest of us support you.
It's like a really gritty voice.
I saw a few people say that they want to hear you make the Batman comment. Yeah.
Yes. Batman.
Yeah, give the people what they want.
Not right.
Yeah, do it. Yeah. Oh, right. Oh, for so many of us.
You know what? Mitch being sick one time, he had bronchitis. That got me to New York. So I can't not return the favor enough with Mitch, because I had never been to New York before, and I got to do this really cool trip because he got sick. I mean, I wasn't celebrating that he got sick, but I was like, oh, that's too bad, Mitch. I get to go to New York and you have to stay home. So we'll have Kati Tabin on here momentarily. A great video from the content department.
Yes.
I imagine a lot of people out there want to know how many pairs of skates players go through in their time. I still have the same pair of skates I had when I was 30.
I guarantee you they go through a lot more than what all the rest of us go through. But maybe some of the players tonight will be trying out new skates. Maybe they're trying to change things up a little bit.
Yeah, let's see this video. Tyler Escobar.
You go through in a year? Probably more than what Jay, our equipment manager, likes.
It used to be 1 pair a season. Then I got traded here, and the equipment guys made me do 2 or 3 pairs a year. I like old skates.
1 pair a month, maybe.
Okay.
Like 5, 6, maybe.
Probably 3 or 4.
I don't like to break in new equipment. Maybe one every 3 weeks or so.
That seems like a lot.
I play with guys they go like 2 games and they're gonna get a new pair of boots. So 8, 9, 10 pairs of skates a year.
Jeez.
I didn't go through as many when I was growing up. It wasn't as hard on my parents.
Yeah,
but
you're making up for it now.
Probably once every 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay, that seems about average.
I like fresh skates.
The best part of all that is at least you have that option to ask for another pair of skates.
Yeah, I wouldn't be, you know what, if I played, I would not be changing my equipment all the time.
No.
I know I like things to be worn in. I'd probably, if I could just have something new all the time, it'd probably be new socks. I like new socks.
How about hockey socks?
Not hockey socks, but legitimate
like
socks is what I would go.
They would love you in the
I know.
equipment department.
You know what?
So you want new shin pads? No, I want socks.
I just want socks.
Hockey socks? No.
Look,
socks.
I'm low maintenance, okay?
Yeah.
It's not necessary. I like to break things in. I like things to get comfortable, but I like new socks.
You know,
that would be what I would have.
We should ask Kati Tabin how many pairs of skates she likes to go through a year. Don't you think?
Okay.
Do you think so?
You can ask whatever it is that you like.
Oh, hi, Katie.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. How are you? Welcome to
Not
the
too
show.
bad.
We were just going through, before we ask you about the real reason why you got here, how many pairs of skates? Do you like new equipment or do you like using the same old equipment all the time?
I kind of like to stick with the old stuff. It's all worn in. Typically with skates, one or two a year, but nothing too crazy.
So the equipment staff love you, don't they? Because are you like low maintenance?
Sometimes I'm a little picky, but I try to be low maintenance.
Well, Kati Tabin is obviously from Winnipeg, Manitoba. The PWHL is coming here next March, March 22nd, I believe. It's Ottawa and Montreal. Katie is playing for Montreal. How is it going? Like how excited are you about the success the PWHL is having right now, Katie?
Oh, it's phenomenal. I mean, even just a couple of years ago when I got drafted, it was kind of like, is this league going to be here to stay? Where's this going to go? And over the past couple of years, as it's grown and the fans in the stands just keep growing and we're selling out stadiums, it's phenomenal.
When you think about being able to come back to Winnipeg, play a PWHL game, and Jamie and I were talking before at the start of the show, just about the atmosphere that you always see in the crowds. And I mean, you mentioned it too. It continues to grow. It looks like so much fun. What is it like for you? What do you think it's going to be like for you to be able to come back and play in front of, undoubtedly a sold out arena here at Canada Life Center, playing hockey in front of friends, family, and inspiring countless young girls along the way?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's even set in yet. I feel like ever since I graduated from high school, it's kind of like, okay, I don't know if I'm ever going to get a chance to play in front of friends and family. So now that I have that opportunity, it's going to be so cool. Like I'm so pumped. I'll probably cry out there, honestly, because it's going to be such a cool moment. So I'm really excited.
What was the reaction like from your family and friends, Katie, when you broke that news to them that you will be here in March to play in front of them?
Yeah, they're all super excited. My mom, my brother, my dad, they're thrilled. They're super excited, telling all their friends and obviously all our family members. I think it's going to be a really special moment.
How do you look at the role of the PWHL, Kate? Not just, obviously giving those current players like yourself the opportunity to play professional hockey, but when I mentioned, when you come here, you're going to be inspiring countless young girls that hope to be the next Katie. How do you look at the role that the PWHL plays and players like yourself in inspiring that next generation?
Yeah, what a cool opportunity to try to inspire the next generation. And it's just phenomenal, after growing up in Oakbank, and I didn't really have many female hockey players to look up to in Manitoba. I remember, I think I went to a rivalry series or a world there at the Jets Arena, and I saw Jennifer Botterill, and I just remember saying, like, I want to play for Team Canada just like her. So now that there's a league and it's here to stay, I think it's going to be really cool for little girls and even little boys to just go and enjoy it. And, I think just the number of girls getting into hockey as well is growing. And that's just really cool to see.
Okay, talk about, it's great that you're from Winnipeg, but how cool is it to play in Montreal, which I think in some aspects is the hockey mecca of our country?
Yeah, besides Winnipeg, I do love Montreal. The fans are crazy here. It's awesome. They definitely kind of act like another player on the ice for us. So, yeah, it's a really cool city.
All right. Well, look, Katie, actually, just before we let you go, can you give us an idea how has everything been going this season in terms of starting things up for you guys and just getting ready for another exciting season? What can people expect that want to maybe follow along beyond just that game in March? Maybe they want to get a Montreal jersey and help support you as well. What can people expect, do you think, from your Montreal team this season?
Yeah, I think, looking at our team already, it looks like we're going to be a good group. We're going to be a big physical group, so I'm pretty excited for that. I think we added a lot of depth to our roster over the off season, so yeah. I'm excited to get going. I think, it's going to be a great season, and go Montreal. Hopefully we get more fans this year.
All right, Katie, thank you so much. Congrats to you guys for coming here. Congrats on another season, the PWHL, and all the best to you. Looking forward to seeing you here in March.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks so much for the time, Katie.
Kati Tabin joining us, getting set for another season of the PWHL. And listen, there's a lot of support in the chat group. For a fact that the building is going to be full, and that's so cool to hear Katie say she's going to get emotional playing here, because I can't imagine the amount of ticket requests she's getting.
Oh, I'm sure. And just when their season kicks off, I just think that you look across the board, the way that it's continued to grow, and it's an event. Mm-hmm. Obviously the tour is an event, and we see it sell out everywhere, but the opportunity for these women to be able to play the game that they love. And mm-hmm. As we heard her say, that growing up, there weren't a lot of female hockey players that were role models, and you certainly didn't think of yourself as having the capacity to be able to play in a female hockey league the way that they do now. And so when the season gets going across the board, we see it on a variety of sports networks across the country, to be able to support these women and help continue to grow the game, and hopefully continue to see expansion as we are across the PWHL.
Yeah, two teams, Vancouver and Seattle. Very smart by the PWHL, because you're already making geographical rivals with Vancouver and Seattle, and really cool that they're expanding, and it's only get better from that. Sara and Jamie are Batman and
Robin. She mentioned, Jen Botterill, and I want quickly the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Inductions were yesterday. There were some fantastic speeches, some fantastic players, both men and women, that went into the league or went into the Hall of Fame, including Jen Botterill, who had a great speech. Joe Thornton, lots of tears.
Yeah.
From Jumbo Joe, and lots of laughs as well. And so great. If you haven't had the opportunity, I don't know if you watched the induction ceremonies, but if you haven't had the opportunity, there's some great speeches with some great messages along the way as well. Yeah,
and of course Joe Thornton was the best. It's just the personality that he is. That was really cool. But I love tuning into speeches. Any Hall of Fame, love to see those ones, because the emotion that comes out when they thank family and friends, and so that is some much watched TV. So make sure you go to the NHL website to check that out. And a couple of in the media wings, since we like to give shout outs to colleagues as well, and those that we've watched. Francois Gagnon and Daryl Ray went in. Daryl Ray, I recognize from Dallas Stars. Razor's done those broadcasts for decades now, and Francois covered the Montreal Canadiens for a variety of different outlets, including RDS, and is a staple if you're a Canadiens fan. Yes, Phyllis said Jen Botterill is an absolute legend, and we are 100%. And it was very eloquent in her speech yesterday. She's a very good, we had her on the when we had that reunion from CJ, or remember we had Darren Millard and everything. Yep. Jen came on. She was great on that one too. So we're going to effort to get Jen on the show sometime this week. So hopefully she can take some time to do that with us. Yes, absolutely. Let's quickly, before we wrap and let everybody get on with their day, a couple of quick look back at the storylines for this game going into tonight. Jets looking for their first win of this road trip, this game 4 of 6.
Rest of the road trip, and it's spaced out. I mean, because it is the world's longest road trip. It feels like
is it ever?
for 2 weeks, but
It is for a reason. Grey Cup's here too.
So the Jets will hit the ice at 11:30 Pacific, so 1:30 Central Time. So make sure you keep an eye out on Mitchell Clinton's X feed because he's usually great about tweeting out the lines. We will see whether or not Scott O'Neill and company go with the same lines and defensive pairings as what we saw on the road trip up to this point.
Right.
Playing against a Vancouver Canucks team that has been able to find some wins, grabbing 3 of 4 points over the weekend. Evander Kane, I remember, was traded to Vancouver. He is playing on that top line besides Pettersson and Connor Garland.
Okay.
As well, the Jets just needing to rediscover their game.
Yeah, well, we just talked about they are getting the high danger scoring chances, just over 8 per game. Even during this 3-game losing streak, they just haven't converted. They're 0 for 25 on high danger scoring chances over those last 3 games. So they're getting the chances. They're just not going in right now. So maybe a little bit of snake bitten stuff going on right now.
But good defense leads to offense, and just the structure that has become so synonymous with this Winnipeg Jets team we have not seen in recent games.
Right.
And I think it tells you just how high the bar has been set. The expectations are very high, but certainly no need to panic. They just need to get back playing their style of game.
Right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for tuning in to us. Many thanks to Mitchell Clinton and Kati Tabin for joining the show. And maybe
look at how desperate he is to get off right now.
To stop talking.
To stop talking.
Do you know how much I love to not talk? It's like one of my favorite things to do.
It's not true. He talks all the time. It pains him incessantly to not speak. But don't forget that after the game, you're going to want to, because he's not going to talk after the game.
No.
But he is going to put up 3 things about the game on the Winnipeg Jets website. You can catch tonight's game on TSN3 with Dan Robertson, Kevin Sawyer. Of course, you can always catch it on CJOB as well with Mitchell Clinton and Paul Edmonds.
Fuck it.
Oh.
Grand Marnier.
Get better, huh?
Thanks.
Get better.
Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. You're really nice to me today. I thank you.
For
it. Down.
That's right. We got to pick them up.
Yeah.
We got to pick up the Jets. Get them going.
Jets will win
pick
tonight.
up Jamie as well.
Jets will win tonight.
There you go. Oh, you've heard it. A Jamie Thomas guarantee.
Right.
Batman says so.
Oh, thanks everybody for watching.
Thanks so much, everyone, for checking in. We will see you before the Jets game on Thursday.
Yes, Seattle.
All right. Have a great day, everyone.
Placed.